As some folks know who follow me on this channel, I had to switch from a compound bow to a crossbow last year due to what is called advanced shoulder disease, which is just a fancy way of saying I need both my shoulders replaced. So in 2020, I was able to obtain a crossbow license that allowed me to use a crossbow in Alberta during bow season. However, I still held out hope that I'd be able to return to my compound at some point in the future. In 2020, I had ordered new limbs for my bow and was able to reduce it from a 70-pound draw weight to a 50-pound draw weight. And this at least allowed me to get my bow drawn. I then practiced no more than 2 times a week during the summer because any more than that and the pain in my shoulder would get too bad. My biggest trouble was trying to stabilize my bow to aim it once I got it drawn back. The rotator cuff in my shoulder is badly torn and it makes it really hard to steady the bow. During the summer, I would be pretty inconsistent with my first shots starting out being the poorest, and then I would warm up and do better, and then after about 10 shots I'd do worse again. But by the end of the summer I felt I'd progressed enough to hunt with the compound bow at the beginning of the bow season, and so that was my plan. The area I was hunting was about 45 minutes northwest of town. I found a mineral relic there in 2013, so I had quite a few trail cam pics from the spot. My challenge was going to be getting into the area as it was super thick with alders. So what I eventually decided to do was cut out a 1.5 kilometer trail through an old cut block that would give me relatively good access to the lick during the hunting season. I cut this trail out by myself and by hand over a 4-day period in August. I headed out to my spot on the afternoon before opening day, got camp set up, and waited for morning to arrive.
It's opening day in the afternoon. I sat here this morning and didn't see a thing. So I'm back. Gonna be here for the next about 4.5 hours till about 9:30. Got some trail cam pictures of elk and deer and a couple of moose on here. So, but not for a couple of days. So hopefully they're due back anytime now. And we can try to get an arrow in one. I just had a really close encounter with a bunch of elk, including a really big 6-point. Super frustrating. The wind was just swirling everywhere, and they wouldn't commit to coming into the lick. I had a calf at 5 yards right below me that I could have shot, but the elk was at 16, the cow was at 16, and the bull I only glimpsed for like a couple of seconds, but I could hear them all around me. And finally, I think they got a bigger whiff and they took off. So, darn it.
I didn't see anything in the morning, so I headed back to camp to make some lunch and to have a snooze. Then around 3 p.m. I started off for the 1.5 kilometer downhill walk through the alders to my tree stand for my evening sit. The last 100 meters is so steep I actually installed a climbing rope to help with going down and up. It made a big difference too.
It's August 26th. It's about 4 o'clock. I'm back down at the black bear stand where I was all yesterday and had that really close encounter with the bull elk and some cows.
Well, you can see by my reaction and body language, I was pretty darn disappointed. I was struggling to stabilize my shoulder to shoot, and of course, I was excited at the same time. My arrow looks like it hit in a shoulder bone, as it only got a couple of inches of penetration at the most. So I waited a couple hours and then I got down to look for her. I did find some blood, but unfortunately, in cases like this, you pretty much know what the outcome's going to be because the shot wasn't fatal. So unsurprisingly, I never did find her. At that point in time, I decided my skill level with the bow wasn't where it needed to be and really wasn't where I wished it was. And so I drove home the next morning, got my crossbow, headed out to take a few shots, and then went back to camp. 70 yards. Good job, man. That's amazing.
It's August 28th today. This is our 4th day of hunting. So I guess I'm looking to see something or hear something for the 4th night in a row, which would be kind of amazing. Not holding out a lot of hope that's going to happen. I haven't seen anything here in the morning. It's all been in the evening. So we're here for about the next 5.5 hours.
I did it. I got my elk. Didn't go 30 yards. Oh man. It's gonna be a long night. But she came in basically where I was hoping because the wind was blowing from the lick to me. And I waited until she gave me a broadside shot and then I made it. This is my 5th day out on this stand. And it was a lot of effort. I probably was out here 10, 11, 12 hours cutting the trail in here, setting the stands up, trail cameras, so it's pretty satisfying that it all come together finally. And I got this cow. Pretty happy about that. Stoked. But now I gotta figure out how to get it out of here. It ain't gonna be easy. But at least she didn't go very far. She's like 20 yards from me. So, yep, here comes the work. Well, I packed up all my gear and then went over to check on my arrow. Here's my arrow, stuck into the ground. It's the lick. And there's my tree stand right there. Ha! Nice bloody arrow. Well, I just got down from my tree stand and I'm just going to walk over to where I think I saw the elk fall over. Yep, I can see it right there. Right there. See, that's a pretty good shot. Right behind the shoulder. Maybe a little lower than I thought, but obviously she only went 20 yards. So yeah, now the fun begins. Well, I'm quickly losing light here. Shot this cow about 20 minutes ago. Only went about 20 yards, made a perfect shot. And super stoked. Wish Jolene was here. Wish I had some help, so I'm probably going to be up all night doing this. But not complaining. This is the 5th day at this stand, and I finally got it done. She came in at about 8:30, had about 25 yards, and I made a good shot. So couldn't be happier. Now to work. Hey.
Is it off?
Yep.
Hi.
Thanks for coming out and helping.
You're welcome. Thanks for getting a cow elk.
Yep. We're almost done. Just cleaning up the scene of the crime.
Which is also full of Aaron's blood.
Yep. And did a bad one this time. Sliced my finger really good. That's what you don't want to do to your finger when you're cleaning an elk. Cut it to the bone. Oops. This is an hour and a half later. So here I am back at the kill site by myself. Jolene helped me pack out both the hind quarters and the back straps last night, so we got those back to the truck. So now I'm back getting the front quarters, what we left hanging in the tree, and then all of my hunting stuff. So probably 3 more loads, probably 4 hours of work. Not complaining though, because we've got an elk. This is why I installed the rope. Whew. I cut this trail by hand over about 12 hours of hard manual labor.